Hey everybody, Dr. Talley here again with Spero CBD. Thanks for joining me today. All right, so we're actually going to go over one of the articles we actually had published in USA Today regarding travel and CBD. It was published back on April 16th of this year, so if you want to go back and take a look at that article, it's going to be basically what we're going to review today. But for those of you who might not have access to USA Today and would like some helpful hints on using CBD for travel, as well as some other travel tips, stay tuned with us today. So, since many people travel at least once a year, we were hoping to go over what a strategy for that you could utilize to lower your stress levels. And one of the newer options now is obviously CBD, and it can help you lower your stress levels. Everybody knows how much your stress response can kick in with a change in your routine, particularly things that come with traveling. So your CBD is going to provide you with a calming effect during these times of travel, and that's going to work on your endocannabinoid system by optimizing that for you. A lot of people are unaware of their endocannabinoid system and the role that it plays in the body, and CBD helps to optimize that for you. So the endocannabinoid system acts as a hub in your body. Some people even call it the conductor of the orchestra, since it does have the ability to augment other systems in the body, and the receptors in the endocannabinoid system are actually some of the highest found in the body of all systems. So it has quite a profound effect on your body, and you may or may not know that your endocannabinoid system is deficient unless you supplement with CBD to see the effects. There are some tests that you can have done to see if your endocannabinoid system is deficient, but those are a little harder to come by sometimes, and your physician might not be as familiar with those, but something you could look into. But for those, most people find that a trial of CBD can also help you know whether you're deficient in it, and you can also have great benefits with it, so with very little side effects. So there's not much to lose by giving CBD a try. Now, we all know that, like I said before, traveling can throw our bodily systems off. We have changes in our sleep cycle, our diet, environmental temperature changes, which you might be flying from cold to warm climates, and that can have a change on your body as well. And then also, we all know that when you're traveling, particularly if it's for vacations or family get-togethers, you might be enjoying a few more cocktails, and alcohol can have a negative effect on you as well. So what you're going to notice is that even before you travel, you're going to start to see an increase in stress because you have to plan the trip, pack your bags, get to the airport, check in, the actual travel process itself. Once you get to your destination, or the airport, you have to get to your final destination somehow. So even before you get onto an airplane or take a long bus or train ride, your bodily stress response has already started to ramp up. Now you throw on the added effects of COVID-19 to traveling, and your anxiety will probably peak even higher. So the CBD is something that can be used consistently ahead of time. And the reason we recommend using it consistently is there is a build-up phase for CBD. So you can take it, you're probably going to notice some effects within about 15 to 30 minutes of consumption. However, to see the full effects of CBD for you, you have to find the adequate dose for when you're getting benefits and then use that same dose steadily for several weeks. Usually about 2 to 3 weeks will give you a good idea of how you're doing with that dose. And you can also monitor it for side effects. But when you're consistently taking it, it continuously gives your endocannabinoid system the substances that it needs to be optimized so that it can help your other systems throughout the body work to their fullest potential. So like I said, when you take these CBD products, you'll feel calmer, and when your other systems are working properly, you'll stay healthy. So that's why we do recommend taking a high quality CBD product with your travel experiences. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is if you're traveling internationally, to make sure that you know the laws for CBD in the area that you're going to, because certain places are a little stricter or it might be outright illegal to have. So be very cautious and know the laws before you get there. We don't want anybody getting into trouble over this, although we do think that CBD is something great that could really help individuals with their stress during the travel periods. So next thing is what's helpful for reducing pain during long travel days. So actually there's numerous studies out there, and there's other ones that are still in the works with larger amounts of people, as well as higher quality trials that are looking at the role of CBD in the inflammatory process and helping with chronic pain. So the data we have, both from smaller trials as well as anecdotal evidence from the people who have taken it on their own, consumers, have noted great effects from it with very small side effects. So it seems to work very well for individuals who might have chronic pain. So not only does it help with the pain itself, but the CBD can actually have a calming effect and reduce the anxiety that's associated with chronic pain. Some people who suffer from chronic pain have this feeling of reluctancy to go off and do things because is it going to exacerbate their chronic pain? So a lot of times individuals that don't have chronic pain may not understand that anxiety and reluctancy, but those who suffer from it will understand that. And CBD can help those individuals in two ways. Obviously, we talked about the pain itself, but also helping with that anxiety that comes along with chronic pain. And the fact that CBD has far less side effects, it appears, compared to other traditional pain relievers. And those can even be your over-the-counter things, your Aleve, ibuprofen, things that can affect your kidneys, your blood pressure. They can cause stomach ulcers and GI bleeds. Now, that's not for everybody. There are people that take them and do great with them, but these are side effects that can occur with these over-the-counter medicines. And then the more significant things, the opioids, your Percocets, Vicodins, all of those types of things, the more serious pain relievers, they have a long list of side effects. It can affect your breathing. You always have to worry about unintentional or even intentional overdosing of those medicines, constipation, sedation, drowsiness, all those things that come with the chronic pain treatment regimens. So there's been a big push of getting away from the opioids because of all these problems that come along with it. Now, there is a place for them, either for patients who are recovering from surgery and you do need it, that's great. But for long-term treatment of chronic illnesses, there's really been a push of getting away from these medicines and treatment regimens. So along with the CBD for these individuals with chronic pain, you also want to make sure you're just staying well hydrated, and also trying to, if you're able to, getting up during a long flight or something like that, trying to walk around the cabin, maybe doing some stretching, things that try and keep your muscles kind of loose and your joints mobile from being stuck in a sitting position for a long time. Now, last question we have for today is, are there any routines that are suggested people practice before and or after traveling to help with chronic pain or other health conditions? Now, obviously, the main thing here is trying to stay ahead of it. So before you start traveling, making sure that you're in top health, getting adequate sleep. If you're going to have a big time change, trying to gradually adjust that before you travel so there's not such a big shock to your body. Obviously, not everybody can do that, but if you're able to, that's great. So you do try and avoid these post-travel sick days that you might get. And as we discussed before, trying to incorporate CBD and allowing your endocannabinoid system to really be optimized ahead of time instead of just taking CBD or doing any of these things I've discussed the day of traveling, trying to do them ahead of time so your body's in a much better state of trying to fight off infections or an inflammatory issue. So the two other most important things we talked about, kind of, we're staying hydrated, adequate fluid intake is always helpful, and also the sleep. So not just changing your sleep cycle for time changes, but also making sure you're getting adequate rest if you're able to while you're on your trip. So, the CBD actually will help your body regulate its sleep. Now, again, I think I've talked about this before on one of our other live sessions, that the CBD itself shouldn't really make you too drowsy. It's not really a sedative, so it's not going to make you fall asleep. However, if you're towards the end of the day and you're traveling and you're tired and you take CBD, it should help regulate and promote healthy sleep. You'll get deeper sleep. You'll feel more rested the next morning, but you shouldn't really have a groggy feeling. That's the same reason why people can take CBD early in the mornings to help with chronic pain or anxiety and really don't feel much drowsiness. It's more about the time of day you take it, and even maybe the dosage as much or as well can play a component to that too. But for the most part, it's not very sedating of a substance. So you can always take a multivitamin, loading up on vitamin C ahead of time, and that can help with your upcoming stress and optimizing your body. And then the big one, obviously, right now is trying to maintain wearing a mask when you're mandated to, and in large gatherings where people are close to each other, particularly indoors. And then also practicing proper hand hygiene, something that I've learned in medical school and training, but also other people outside the medical field have learned it, trying to wash your hands to singing the happy birthday song. And when you've done it twice, then you know that you've thoroughly washed your hands. So, and then if you're able to, you can even use the alcohol-based hand scrubs that are out in public areas. So that can be helpful for you as well for keeping your hands clean, because we touch our faces a lot when we're even unaware of it, and that can easily allow something to enter through your nose, your mouth, or even through your eyes. So you gotta be very conscientious of your hand hygiene when traveling, and especially in high traffic areas where you're touching doorknobs, handrails, anything like that, going onto elevators. So just be conscientious of those things. I hope that everything I've gone over today has been helpful for you, and hopefully will help you in your travels. So feel free to visit our website, sperocbd.com, for more educational content as well as premium CBD products. And I want to thank you for joining me today. We'll be live again in about 2 weeks or so. And I want to wave to all of our viewers. I see a lot of people have waved in here. I'll do a quick scan here, make sure I don't see any questions. Nope, just see a bunch of waves, and thank you all for joining me today. And I want you all to stay healthy and safe travels. Thanks.